Good afternoon, we listeners, and I thank you again for we una don't tune in this afternoon. We they welcome una all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the link. I encourage everybody again una share the link www.richardkonteh.com. Una can catch we on any of we social media outlet there. Una know there now. We there on YouTube. We there on LinkedIn. We there on Facebook. We there on Instagram. We even there on TikTok. So I ask una again for share the link so that interested Sierra Leonean then we want for see we country better, go able for come and can listen to this Unifier Hour. So now welcome once more to the Unifier Hour. And as usual, we get in studio with Dr. Richard Konteh, the Unifier. Dr. Konteh, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Valda. Always a pleasure for day with you on this program. I look forward to another opportunity for share my thoughts with other Sierra Leoneans and well-wishers all over the world.
Thank you, sir. And I did delve right into my question. There were a lineup for you today. My first question to you, sir, now that what's in the temperature of the APC party now with this interim executive day in place? We know say we don't see some name there where we recognize, some they're not as recognizable. But what's in the temperature of the party now with the interim executive done day in place?
Well, we're still hopeful. The spirit yesterday at the party office been very upbeat. We see all parties then come together, then they sing, then they dance, then they celebrate. And so we've been very hopeful. May not be Dede personally because I'll be there attend to a very urgent problem in a village where involve some fracas between community people and some Fulamandem where we get for involve the police. So we try for resolve that issue there. So I've been there. But we watch the videos and audios will come after the occasion, and I think we've been hopeful. We only pray now that this type of spirit of unity, of coming together, will continue, and we will build on that, and we will come out of it a successful party.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Yes, we all hopeful because we party being there in, we're not being steady on we feet without an executive in place. So we all gladly say there is an executive in place. However, I get some serious reservations with the composition of the executive, specifically with respect to the number of women we didn't get in the committee. I know say you not be get a hand in choosing the committee. However, I think say it's quite disappointing. Say not only two women then we see then choose now this committee. So my question to you, sir, is when you become flag bearer of APC, how will women's rights and involvement in politics feature?
Well, I don't get you at all. You okay. Become broken. I know they get.
Okay, make I repeat what I say. I say it's it look like say the internet usai Dr. Konteh, they not very stable. But honestly, I've been just want to ask about the participation of women them now this new interim executive where we party don't cut up with. But we go wait for make it come back online and I go ask that question there. My first question to Dr. Konteh was, what is the temperature of the party now that we have the interim executive in place? And his response was that it was very hopeful. It was very upbeat. People looking forward to the interim executive, starting their work. Because so far, the party has been in flux. There hasn't been any stability and it difficult for run any kind elections or any kind political campaign where the party where you they run in not get an executive in place. So when all is said and done, the fact say right now we get an executive in place, whether it's the ideal executive or not, the fact is we have an executive in place, and therefore plenty other things there will be done be put on hold. Now we go able for see them begin for move again, because the appropriate body we suppose for spearhead all the different levels of activities where the party supposed for they embark on right now at this critical juncture for we party, for the future of we country. At least we get that in place right now, and hopefully we go see then go quickly into a convention and proper election, so that we will get a properly elected body where they lead we party. I'm hoping Doc don't join we back. Doc, you hear me, sir?
Yeah, it can't broken actually.
Okay.
They
I go try for talk slowly so you will get me. Essentially, waiting I ask is we don't see the executive. Now two woman there no more. We see they, and it disappointing. So when you become flag bearer of APC, whose kind role you see woman then they play in terms of leadership and in terms of women's rights?
Thank you very much, Valda. The last 2 weeks, I've been do a series of interviews we get for do with this Justice Fisher ruling, and we get for do with the whole idea around the 21 and the 25-man committees where they constitute. And I've been draw attention to the fact, say, with new constitution, the state say in all electoral processes within we party, we for ensure, say, 30% of the membership for be woman them. So my expectation, therefore, was that even in this 21-man committee, they be for endeavor forget 30% woman representation. But regrettably, I find out, say, both of the groups where make up the 21-man committee only nominate one person. Two people. Two people for out of 12 in the Children Majujalo group, and then 1 out of 9 in the Alfred Peter Konteh group. Me find out too little, because I feel say we'll get more women out there way before don't come into this. However, waiting me don't make a commitment to when I become president of this country, that I go ensure that starting with me political appointments as president, I go ensure say well in excess of that 30% go be in the government, because I believe strongly say women them don't demonstrate over the years that they get the capacity, they get the commitment, they get the sincerity, they get the determination for serve this country and for do the right thing. And I believe say we'll forget the opportunity to make them actualize their fullest potentials. The time for make woman then day for just cook, for the man there and clean the house don't pass. Now at the time where woman then ready for come out and they side by side with man them and in governance and in other aspects of life. And at that, my administration will promote when I become president.
Thank you very much, Dr. Konteh. Very encouraging for you. They give space to women there, especially where you say well in excess of the 30%. Because as a woman myself, this particular interim leadership where they choose, it was disappointing to see that they're not give women there enough of a voice. So thank you so much for that, Andy. I will ask you one last thing about this committee, being that, you get a lot of experience, you get a lot of wisdom, you're very experienced within the political arena, and you're a strong and long-time APC member. Wetin go be you advice in terms of the work with them for start off with right away? What do you go advise them? What's one piece of advice, or what, maybe more than one, but waiting you go tell them if you get the opportunity for advise them?
Well, one thing I go tell them now that in the appointment of the 25-man committee, or rather in the 24 people we go join lawyer Ibrahim Sori for 25-man committee, I go advise or make sure say a minimum of 30%, which means at least eight women them or they inside that committee. I will get it. If they ask me, I will get that advice. Secondly, I go advise them on the need for make them speak with one voice. For make them not see the two groups as opposing parties. As much as possible, I go advise or make them ensure say all the decisions whether they arrive at will be by consensus rather than by voting. So that in everything that they do, therefore look at the party and waiting best for the party and not waiting best for their own personal interests. Because at the end of the day, it is all about APC, what the APC stand for, and we all for fight for make APC become victorious. I also will advise them for make them ensure say, even though it appear as if they come there as separate groups, may they ensure say we get a level playing field. May they ensure say everybody gets an equal and unfettered opportunity for actualize their own potentials, and we ensure say at the end of the day, then guarantee that type of atmosphere which is everybody free for do what you want, and at the end of the day, let the best man win. Me always day of the opinion that if we get a free, fair, and transparent process, then everybody will accept readily the outcome of that electoral process day, and I believe say then they will be good for we party going forward, so that we all will then join forces or fight very hard for ensure victory for we party. And then they will give us an advice, and if I get the opportunity, these are the small things that I will tell them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Very sound advice indeed, because we party need solidarity. We need for pull with strengths together. We need for come together as one. For make we will build the synergy where we need for get into power back in 2023, because now the ultimate aim that one day. Sir, it looked like say there's a body building. When I say a body, I mean like an organization where they call themselves NCUP, NCUP. And the message seemed for be say they're ready for work together. And these are leaders in various political parties, and then seem for one for work together for ensure say come 2023, whatever happens, this current government no go they in power again. I don't know if you were able to elaborate a little bit on NCUP, if you know anything about them.
Sorry, repeat your question, dear. The line became very broken.
Okay, I say we they see leaders from different parties, NGC, C4C, APC, Unity, PDP, where they sit and they come together. This message don't reach diaspora, and even in the country, it's widespread. Say they're ready for work together for ensure say this hardship of people then they experience under the current pauper government not get for happen again come 2023. And I've been a wonder if you can elaborate a little bit on what the NCAP they all about.
Okay, the consortium of progressive political parties. Now, a group of about 13 political parties will come together under the consortium with one agenda, a determination for work together. Because they believe, say, collectively they will be stronger than individually. And they believe, say, if they pool their resources, they pool their efforts, they pool their ideas together, then we'll achieve better results. And I think say it also come as a result of an acknowledgement of the fact that this country currently too polarized, too divided along tribal lines mainly, and regional lines, and then believe say that is not very helpful for the country. They believe say we all are Sierra Leoneans, regardless of which side you come out, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your political leanings, for see the other Sierra Leonean as a brother and as a sister, making a work together. Another reason maybe we move this group for come together, these parties for come together, not because of the bad governance where they happen in the country now. Now a determination for bring about positive change. And then believe say that change will come about more easily when we work together as a bloc. The fine details of how this collaboration, this working together will be fleshed out in reality is still down the road. It's still not very clear, but at least for now, there's a determination to work together. There's a determination to say we have a common destiny, we have a common future, and we get the responsibility for work together to actualize that common vision, common future. We're in a better Sierra Leone. We say everybody will live at peace with your fellow man, and we say everybody will be allowed an unfettered opportunity for actualize potentials, and we say we're not going to allow tribe, region, or even politics for divide anymore. This study, I believe, said Nadandi, the whole idea around COP, and indeed APC are the largest single political party inside COP, and we committed as a party to the ideals of COP, and I believe, say, we committed to working together. But as I say, the fine details of how that working together get for happen now the subject of future discussions.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. I'm sure we listener them very glad for Yeri you explanation of NCAP. I'm sure some don't hear about time, and now when I don't get a little more information about the whole thing. Sir,
not to NCAP, not to NCAP, not to NCAP. Now just COP. NCAP now an affiliate group of
okay.
the APC.
Okay.
Remember NCAP. This now just COP, COPPP.
Okay.
Now a consortium
of progressive political parties. Okay.
NCOP now one of the affiliate groups, the media group, where they part of ASMEG, where they part of the APC, not different from the COP. This group of 13 political parties, of progressive political parties.
Okay. Thank you so much for the clarification. Yes, because I was a little bit confused. So thank you so much. And I'm glad you say we listen at NSF. Probably the NSF don't get the clarity we myself just received. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. I just want to ask about something that we country road safety. People then don't raise concerns over road safety, especially because not too long ago, local accidents them been they happened, accidents and still they happen, but especially the one that way involve commercial vehicles, like the one way been happen na Congo Cross and Signal Hill, where hundreds of people then lost their life. And yet we hear on April 27, where President Biogi, a thinly veiled campaign speech, what he call Independence Day speech, it claims say in government don't build more roads and bridges than any other government has done. However, people then concerned about road safety. My question to you, sir, is what plans do you have to improve road safety when you become president of Sierra Leone? So what are you plan for improve with road safety when you become Salon president, sir? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue about road accidents, it go beyond just the issue about roads. The condition of the roads alone not responsible for the accidents, because we don't find out in Sierra Leone that in many instances, even when we get good roads, straight roads, we still get accidents today. And some of the factors that were responsible for that are the following. One, the drivers, then they sleep. When they drive, they allow themselves for rest sufficiently. So you could see clearly for some of these accidents there, and they cause them. Two, overspeeding. And then we not get speed control that is country, and so the drivers that just speed at will, and plenty of these drivers not able to control the vehicles then. Three, the condition of the vehicles. Plenty of these vehicles, they're not really roadworthy, and therefore the need for fix the issue about the condition of the roads. Four, these stationary vehicles, them where they all over the place. Where they drive, especially in Annette, we see say there are too many stationary vehicles, and if you meet up, say another vehicle they come, especially we will not get a dual carriageway when I just single carriageway. Most times the drivers they not even use low beam, that they use high beam, and so they blind the accompany them. And then if in the process you come across a stationary vehicle and you're there at top speed, you will just bump into ram and you will get accidents. So therefore, for overcome this thing, one, I believe say the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority, when they issue licenses, one, they get for ensure say they give licenses only to people that were qualified for drive. Two, I believe say we get for start, I know say we pay for that vehicle examination. What's really another thing say then they really check for the road worthiness of some of these vehicles. And sadly, you see vehicle they pull smoke like chimney. They can't pass right through a checkpoint and nobody cares. They can't pass right through Wusai. Then so people they call themselves the traffic warden. They outside them park. Nobody know they stop there. Nobody know they check those vehicles, and those are the vehicles that they go cause accident. When they grow up in this country, the safest way for move from one part of this country to the other is to use government bus. Because first time when they say government bus driver, the way they dress safe, you go respect the driver. They were formally dressed, they been get uniform, then get the bus conductor, you get uniform, the buses were never overloaded, and their speed be regulated, and they go and come, even when the roads were not as good as they are now. Now we see drivers of buses, they wear halfback, they go drive bus. Sunday goes, you see how they drive, they talk on the phone. They see how they drive, they smoke. They see how they drive, they go and talk. You see say they lack concentration. So that plus the other issues that we are talking about, the condition of the vehicles, the condition, the fact say they're not they check for the roadworthiness, they're not would they get these isolated vehicles, abandoned vehicles on the roads at night where they cause accidents, plus the fact that people do not get proper licensing scheme or that they drive. All of these things put together, that they cause the accidents. But of course, I also believe, say, that statement where Bio talk, say, Indo make roads in 4 years more than any other government in the country history. Now, an unfortunate statement, and it cannot be further from the truth, because I believe, say, INSISEF no say it was not true. The only roads where the currently ongoing in construction now roads there where APC be done commission. Yes, I'll talk about that in the last interview. I say it's true that government is continuous, and so when one government pass, it inherit projects and it continue with them. But waiting, unfortunate in this particular case, that they not acknowledge or say these projects were inherited. Today, they commissioned the Magbele Bridge. When I see the fanfare where they organize for commission Magbele Bridge, a bridge where APC be done commission, now the EU provide the funding, not just the construction. They don't even award the contract already before then they come. And in the entire speeches where they make, there's no acknowledgement of the role of APC in that process. That I think is unfortunate. Therefore, always they acknowledge. The same with the Mabam Bridge. Now, a project that the EU be fund the Three Bridges project. Even the Moyamba Road. Now, a roadway we don't get the funding for, we don't commission now, we would award the contract. Even the Bo Bandajuma to Morovia Highway, that we don't award the contract, we don't commission them before elections. So then just can't continue. So we want to thank them that they continue with this project. They're not abandoned them, like how they abandoned many other very good projects. So we commend them for that. But I think it's wrong for make them claim total credit for that, because those are inherited projects. As I've been talked the last, I've been look forward to a report on how far they don't go to the Lunge Bridge. Because the Lunge Bridge before be their own project. When their initiator, and then say they go raise 2 billion for one, and they say they don't get contractor, they don't bring in engineers. I want to see the design for the bridge. I want to see how they work. We'll start and then give you an update of how far they don't go with that construction in 5 years. And the second project where they go claim credit for where they own, now the new airport terminal, where they say for $279 million, for which they abandon a new airport who will do for $350 million. You know, and I think so when you look at the value in having a sound airport, and especially on the mainland, as compared to spending all of that money on just one airport, I don't know witness the value. I'm not getting the problem with upgrading the Lunge airport, but enough for be at the expense of another airport on the mainland. And I think say it was ill-advised, but I hope say we go address that. When me become president in June 2023, I will ensure say the Road Safety Authority become a real road safety authority. I will ensure say this whole issue about you know, in England they call it the MOT. It in America, it in Germany, the roadworthiness tests, vehicle examination, it get for be very serious. Any vehicle where no roadworthy, where not pass the test, it no go appear on the roads. 3, I go also ensure that anybody this morning while they drive from Freetown to McKinney, we will discuss this inside the vehicle with my team. I will tell them, say, when me become president, anybody will abandon a vehicle like this on the road, you know, the meter again. Then go tow the vehicle, private sector go come in with the tow trucks, then go tow the vehicle to somewhere, and there will be penalty. And every day where the vehicle is sleep day, the additional penalty, and you get a limited period within which you forgo retrieve them there and pay the penalties and fix everything we need to be fixed before ever they hit the road. If you fail for them, government they auction them off. I think say if we set those clear examples of penalties, we go make people then stop to do that. I will also ensure, say, when I become president, we get for revisit even the way we charge custom duty on vehicles when they bring to this country. I think so would they encourage old vehicles for coming to this country too much by reducing the custom duty for old vehicles and increasing the custom duty for new vehicles. In Ghana, when they be one for get rid of old vehicles from Ghana, they don't make that about possible. They simply increase the custom duty for old vehicles when they come inside the country and reduce the custom duty for new vehicles. So if you bring in a new vehicle into the country, you pay next to nothing. If you bring in a very old vehicle, when they charge you the custom duty, now you go advise yourself on whether or not it makes sense at all for like you can. So we will ensure say that happen. We will also ensure say we try for enforce some limits on the number of hours where a driver for drive non-stop. In developed countries, after every 3-4 hours, they'd expect a driver for stop at a filling station where you go buy drinks, you ease yourself. If you're tired, you go relax, and then you continue your journey. Those intermittent stops, they go a long way for avoid accidents. But for do that, we also therefore make these filling stations on the highways, therefore get additional facilities where go make attractive enough for make a driver go out for stop and relax, take a drink, and rest a bit and continue in journey. So we go put in place for this way for ensure, say, one, the vehicles there where they ply with routes and they in proper conditions. Two, that the drivers, the way they drive, they're properly licensed and properly dressed and they follow standard protocols. We therefore ensure, say, people are not going to abandon their vehicles on the road with reckless impunity. There'll be penalties for that. And if you abandon it on the road, therefore, you know the miss at the again. Yeah, we see the vehicle they park in one place on the highway for days, as if policemen are not there, as if road safety authorities are not there. Those things stop for happen within minutes. Where you abandon, or make us say a few hours, where you abandon the vehicle, you know, move them away, then at the wrong place.
Doc, sorry for interrupt. I don't know if you hear me, but you don't go mute. I don't know if you hear me, sir, but you go mute. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, those are some of the for put in place for ensure, say, one, if I can repeat, because I don't know when I go mute. One, I say, we go ensure, say, vehicles them when they come to this country new go pay less than vehicles when they come in old for discourage people from bringing old vehicles. Two, we go put in place a system where they go do regular annual vehicle examination, and if they not declare your vehicle as roadworthy, if they're not going to allow you for run-on, so that we will get rid of all of these old vehicles. Three, where you abandon a vehicle on the streets, then they tow them, they can't go away. We're going to ensure, say, the drivers there are properly licensed, properly dressed, and professionally cladded for do the work that they do. And then five, I say, we're going to ensure, say, we get intermittent stops on the highways, beside people then will get the opportunity from time to time for stop, relax a bit, rest if necessary, before they continue the journey. Because we find out, say, plenty accidents them where they take place, not because the driver are tired, they sleep, especially with these large trucks and trailers. Lastly, we go ensure, say, the people them where they use the roads, we fix the roads that they're in a very good condition. If possible, we go dualize all the major highways, and we go ensure, say, we get speed controls. We get equipments there now, we get cameras there now, where they use for check for overspeeding. So we go get speed limits in various locations, and anybody with overspeed, we will get the necessary capacity for apprehend them, and when we apprehend them, there will be penalties. I believe, say, when we put in place some of these measures, we'll be able to reduce some of the accidents on the road.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, because road safety now a very, very important concern where plenty people they raise, and you plan show a very well thought out and workable plan. Anybody will listen to what you say, go no say what you say, na thing way it possible for implement them. It will take some amount of work, but it possible for implement them. So thank you so much. Dr. Konteh, I just want to ask you one last question because I want to give time and space for talk about you movement around the country. I see some information about some work where you don't they do. So I want to give you some space for talk about that day, and of course for give you final message to the voters. But before I do that one day, I want to ask you one question. There's a video making the rounds on social media where a gentleman will identify himself as Harun Zubairu claims say President Bio don't create shell companies. Shell as in snail shell, as in ghost companies. And he said this whole information was exposed by Africanist Press. In name
No,
particularly.
repeat. I'm not getting the question clear. Do you repeat them?
Okay, I give some background. A guy with name Harun Zubairu. They allege say President Bio was exposed by Africanist Press. Say he create some shell or ghost companies. And he named a company where he called Leadway International, where they allege say export 20,000 containers full of timber, we're worth $5 billion. Now that's what they allege. My own question to you, sir, is if indeed Salon get the capacity for export that amount of timber there, how that one day go affect we economy, especially with respect to people not getting paid, people's minimum wage not being enough for people to live on. If we indeed get a capacity for export that amount of timber there, how it go impact the economy?
Thank you very much, Valda. Indeed, I've been read this report where they be make this allegation against the president about this Leadway international company where involved in this timber business, and there was this accusation about this figure. But I'd not say this issue been there in the 2020 audit report, and now one of the issues them were there before Parliament for discussion. And I don't think say Parliament does still allow themselves for discussion, and I don't think say they don't bring out a report to the public on their findings on the issue. But it is true that this company indeed exists. It is true that this company don't export timber. I know say a discrepancy been there on waiting supposed for be the rate where they're supposed for charge for 1 cubic meter of wood where they export, and depending on which parameter you use, the final calculation can be any figure. So we know say that there are different figures. Clearly, if it is true that the figure now 5 billion, they will not get any business being poor in this country. But may not believe say it's up to 5 billion, but I know say now hundreds of millions we know say involved, because they will do some recalculations on that. But I want for left handed to Parliament for make them come up with a report. But it's true that this thing don't happen. But that said, I not believe say deforestation are the best way for make money for the country. If you travel on the highway from Freetown to McKinney, you will really see say we dey head for a crisis. What don't even make matters worse now this charcoal business. Now you need to tick. Now in fact mango not do also. If we not take time, we're not gonna forget mango again for it past the importer for we in this country. Because they don't cut all the mango together for make charcoal. They don't cut all the ticket there for export timber. And I understand, say now, we also cut the timber now that, I understand, say China, they even reject the timber now. They say the ticket now, they send it too young. That just tells you how much damage we don't cause. And regrettably, we not the replant. And because we not the replant, we they expose we country to the vagaries of weather and its attendant negative implications. So I really believe, say, one, the ministry responsible for the environment and the Environmental Protection Agency for really take this issue of logging very seriously, because it cause very serious damage. And we all the hearing now about global warming and its attendant negative repercussions in this world. And Sierra Leone, they contribute negatively to that in that way. So we get for check. So now two bad things they happen here. One, the straightforward one is that then they cut we tick there, then they sell them, the money not they benefit the country. That is one. The veracity or otherwise of that statement could be the subject of the parliamentary investigation, and maybe that give me better enlightenment. It's just unfortunate that the Auditor General will be bring up that issue in the audit report where possibly before don't pursue the matter, they don't suspend them. And now yes sir, people that did now the audit department, so there's nobody to raise the issues. And the pray say the Anti-Corruption Commission will take them up as a serious corruption issue and will address it because it's about tax evasion. And I hope say the National Revenue Authority will also show an interest, because if somebody they generate hundreds of millions of dollars from a particular trade, and I think say we are able to generate substantial amounts of income through taxation from that, we will help for finance other viable economic projects for the country. So that is one side on the economic side. But on the environmental side, I think it's devastating and even more serious and alarming. And I think say when I go Kwenadugu, I see where did they damage the roads because of this timber, where did they deforest with a place because of this timber is too alarming. And now we don't begin to observe, say, even now, any year, breeze, they so no more wind breaks, and they take away too many roofs. Just 2 weeks ago, in Bat Kano, 28 houses, then the roof then go. And it happened in different places all over the country now, because we don't cut down all the trees and will not get windbreak again. That is not good, I believe, so we get to do something about that. And if we're mindful of the negative effects of global warming, I think so we'll get to do something about that. And also, lastly, I think, say, as a country, we also get to ensure, say, we not deplete our resources for posterity. We get to ensure, say, we replant these trees and regain we forests. It will take we another 10, 15 years for get back to where we've been there 20 years ago. But I think, say, it's still doable, and the time to start is now, so that we can help for correct time going forward. And I believe, so when me becoming as president, these are some of the issues that we are going to give priority to, because we're not for only develop this country for today, but for develop this country for posterity. And I believe, say, we strategic planning processes for be geared towards that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. That was very educative. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your response. And we just get about 10 minutes left in the program. So as usual, I want to give you some room and some time for address we listening and viewing audience, and tell them some of the things that were there on your heart for do as president of Sierra Leone. And in doing that, I've been just want to give you also an opportunity for tell me a little bit about some of the work what you don't do over this last week from we last interview to now. Thank you, sir.
This is a difficult question, Valda. I wish you be asked me about a specific area, a specific aspect, because it had for make talk about everything. So therefore, I go just focus on my crusade for unify this country.
Yes.
One thing where I don't be convinced about now the fact say this country no need for continue for remain as polarized as it is today. I believe strongly that as Sierra Leoneans, we get for like we self, we get for believe in each other, and we get for work together for make this country a better place. And I believe say for make we do that, we all get for ensure say we work as one people then. And we not for discriminate against each other by virtue of we tribe, by virtue of we region, or even by virtue of political persuasion. Part of the reason why I come into politics at this level now for do precisely take steps for ensure say we unify this country. That's why we call we campaign the unifier campaign. We believe say we get to bring everybody together. We believe say we get to heal the wounds where they don't create over the last 4 years. We believe say we get to ensure say there's peace, there's stability, there's love for one another, and then we believe that the foundation where we need for make we take off the sustainable decent development. I also believe say the way in which after the 2018 elections, the way in which they be the harass with people then they burn their houses, then they rape some of them, excuse me for language, then they rape some of them, then they kill some people there, then they brutalize people there, then they sack people there from their jobs. And nobody seemed to care about it. I believe say that didn't be something where move me. I make in early 2019, I began to take up on myself for go around this country for empathize with the people there where they don't brutalize after the elections and for give their hope of a brighter future. Because when I go around and I engage with people there, you go really see people that we don't give up. It was like it's over for them. But now I'm glad that they don't get a new life, a new beginning, a new hope, a new consciousness, and they just say, somebody cares. Somebody can defend me. Somebody will be there for me. I'm not abandoned. I belong somewhere. And because I belong somewhere, they will take my interest. They will cater for me. I will not be left alone. And that, now, the thing will really motivate me for come back to politics. Because I not believe, say, the helpless, harmless people for be allowed for make anybody just trample upon them like that and nothing happens. I believe, say, somebody will need for come out. So indeed, I take some big risks for go all over this country. I mean, when I all see the videos where they attack me on the way to Kwendu. Of course, they begin attack me from Bo. They attack me na Bwedu. And finally, they go pull gun. 12 gun mad at snap to the minute for pass. Then I don't know what they be intend for do. But a braver. I tell you, say this country, now we all get them. And nobody not going to redefine the boundaries of this country for me. I say, as a Sierra Leonean, I don't need visa for going to any part of this country. And I believe, say, I'm free for worker and visit my fellow Sierra Leoneans any side of this country without hindrance, as long as I not break the law. And because I know, say, I not break the law, and because I know, say, I be there within the limits of my civic rights and responsibilities, I not be fear for anything. And in any case, whatever will be the outcome, posterity before judge we, in terms of whether be there on the right side of history. So I believe, say, that type of determination for make sure, say, will not allow wrong doings for continue and keep me in politics and I make a day in this race. I also believe, say, this country is endowed. We get the human resources. We get the natural resources. Unfortunately, I don't think, say, we don't harness them properly to make them benefit fully the people of this country. We not derive the maximum benefits we for derive. I don't talk repeatedly for, say, tourism, for example, would be one of the most important ministries from your administration, because I believe, say, then one sector we don't remain a virgin area where we not exploit sufficiently, where we not develop sufficiently, and where we get the potential for be a big revenue earner for this big country. And I believe, so we go invest a lot in that sector. We go attract private sector investment in that sector, and we go fix them. I don't talk repeatedly about the economy in different interviews, but then they talk, say, for we, when you talk about the economy, for me, I believe say, it got to start with the private sector. Private sector got to be the engine for we economic growth and prosperity. How we will now try for ensure, say, we build back confidence in the private sector for them come into this country and see them as the right place for invest and make money. And I make I talk, say, when I become president, we reduce taxes across the board, but then we will broaden the tax bracket and try to bring more of the private sector into the formal sector, more of the informal sector into the formal sector, and ensure, say, we build this economy back from the bottom going up. I don't talk, say, we go also ensure, say, the natural resources then, where this country endowed with, we harness them properly for development. But more importantly, we will begin add value to these things in country, so that we don't only create jobs for people, we don't only create income for companies that we can do, but we also create income for government, so that government will be able to embark on other things. We also get for look at human development, for ensure, say, education is prioritized. And when we talk about free quality education, it will be free quality education wherein we improve the curriculum. Now with schools, we will improve the facilities. And with schools, we will improve the standard of in the environment, the standard of education, and remove the quality of life for the teachers, for improve them, so that teachers there also be properly paid, properly remunerated for him will do the right thing, and we picking them, we train them for the future. That we picking them when they come out of school, that we will get well, meaningful jobs for cater for them. We'll go fix the health sector, we will fix the energy sector, we will fix the roads, etc., etc. So it's a whole range of issues where I believe, say, we could do, and they will all be fleshed out in their manifesto. But as a teaser, I have to tell them, say, this will be key priority areas in my administration. Of course, the overarching issues of governance not for be ever left, put to the back burner. We get for address issues of corruption. Reckless corruption with impunity get for stop. And we believe, say, we get for take appropriate steps for do that. The APC is on record as having introduced the most stringent and draconian anti-corruption legislation in this country, and we will enforce them. And when we come back, we will ensure, say, we implement them without fear, without favor, and we will ensure, say, the right things happen, so that we improve. We rank in all international indices, but more importantly, make the people in this country feel it. For no say it's a free, fair process, and everybody will get a fair chance for express itself. We will also ensure, say, we get an impeccable human rights record. When APC be in power, we will get AAA ratings in the all international indices. We get for restore that image that will characterize the country as a country of killings and savagery, rather as a country of civility, where every Sierra Leonean will get in fundamental human rights will be protected under the law, and we're going to ensure, say, that they happen. In a nutshell, we're going to ensure, say, this country will be peaceful, and we all will live together in harmony with one another, and the government will perform your responsibility for ensure, say, it be a government for all and not a government for some. And the security forces there for be a force for good, a force where they help for protect life and property across the board, and not a government where just for protect a particular regime. These are some of the things the way I believe, say, we could put in place, and I believe, say, we could support, we can do it. So therefore, as usual, at the appeal to we fellow Sierra Leoneans for say, this election where they come, not about APC, SLPP, NGC. It's about what is good for this country. The only unfortunate say we get for come under the umbrella of one political party or the other. But don't vote for a party just because you believe, say, oh, me where I come from this part of the country, and we own parties for supporter. No, vote for the party we believe, say, will do the right thing for the country. And if a party is not doing the right thing, the right time for the citizens for express their views, for express their anger, their dissatisfaction with the failings of that party now during elections at ballot box. I believe, say, on the 24th of June, 2023, the people of this country go mark SLPP their report card, and they will give them never return. so that they will not say, where Pekin they perform extremely badness, they get NR, never return. And I believe, say, on the 24th of June, people of this country will give NR. For we inside the APC, yesterday was a new beginning for we party. I've not been lucky for then the party office yesterday because I will attend to other very important issues where involve with people them we've been get some encounter with the police as a result of some small misunderstanding between the local people and the fullers because of the cattle business at the north. And so I've been come for try for make sure say the issue is amicably resolved and making all escalate to levels where we all go regret. And I'm glad that are still there around for try for address that. And I believe say on Monday we don't call for a big meeting with all the parties. Then go there, the region chief go there, the paramount chief, the police then go there, the Fulemat then go there, the community then go there, and we all go sit down as a family and see how best we can resolve that issue. Now that me believe say as a leader we're supposed to do. When will people then get an issue, we for intervene and try to resolve them, and we for prioritize that. So, but whilst I was away from Freetown, I see the videos, I see the clips, I see some of the audios. I felt so good when I see they all in one accord when they sing the victory song. In one accord when they say APC now one word. I hope say they be meaner. I hope say they be talk from the bottom of their heart. And I hope say that song where they sing, they will understand and appreciate the spirit of that song. So that when they go on with their activities there, they will put party above self. They will put party above their myopic interests. They will put party above anybody in ambitions. That we all for work for victory for the APC. Because at the end of the day, now only when we united, only when we work together, that will guarantee victory for the APC. We in the Unifier campaign believe, say, in Sierra Leone, we all now one. And to take all of us working together in one accord for building a better Sierra Leone. So they invite everybody to come on board the Unifier campaign. Let's come and build a formidable party together. Let's come and work to build a better Sierra Leone. Together, we can make it. And together, we can make Sierra Leone a country where we all will be proud of. God will help us. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. We really appreciate your time today with we. Listeners and viewers, Una, thank you so much. Una, they reach we on we various social media platforms using dunifier.com, dunifier.com. Una also get we on deunifierradio.com. Incidentally, we also get the radio app. So if we want to make it easy for the listen to we every Saturday at this time, please download the Unifier Radio app. And Una also can reach me on richardkonteh.com, Konteh with a K, richardkonteh.com. We're there on Facebook, we're there on Instagram, we're there on YouTube, we're there on LinkedIn, we're there on Twitter, we're there on TikTok, and on WhatsApp. Thank you very much for spending the last hour with us. We invite Una for share the link when it become available, and also for join we again next week. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Thank you, all our viewers.
Thank you very much, Valda. You have been marvelous.